nice to meet you. This is Nate's big sister, Amelia, right?
Yes? I'm sorry, who is this?
Sorry for reaching out of the blue. I guess you don't really know who I am yet. Hi, my name is Mariella. I just signed the paperwork to marry your little brother, Nate.
Wait, what? You're saying you're Nate's wife?
That's right. Sorry for being so late to fill you in on our marriage. Nate really didn't want me to tell you anything about our marriage until we already had things figured out. Something about how you might take it the wrong way because you're still not even married yourself.
Excuse me?
That's what I've been hearing from him, at least. I'm just telling you the impression that I got from what he told me. You still live on your own, don't you? He told me about how you don't even have a boyfriend yet. Yikes. We figured you'd probably be jealous of us and try to get in the way of our marriage. So we just made sure not to tell you anything about it before it was settled to make sure that didn't happen. Hey, don't blame me though. I was just going off of what he told me.
Why would you think that about me?
Anyway, sorry that your brother and I found happiness in life before you were able to. I don't mean to upset you or anything. I was just updating you. Now that it should be okay to do so. I know that it might kind of be a sore spot for you.
Not really. I mean, it doesn't really bother me. It's none of my business what Nate does or who he wants to be with in the first place. The only thing that bothers me is how you're treating me. I don't need your pity or for you to talk down to me like I'm some miserable, lonely woman. I'm just not really ready to get together with someone right now. I mean, with work and everything, trying to find a boyfriend is kind of the last thing on my mind right now. I'd just appreciate if you wouldn't try and hold that against me to try and make me feel bad about it. I don't even really know you yet.
Oh yeah, about your work. By work, you mean your dad's company, right? I heard that you kind of took over the business after your dad passed away out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's right. I guess Nate told you about all of that.
You must be so exhausted with all of that. I see why you don't have time to find a boyfriend. Don't you think it would be better if you just let someone else take care of it? Then you'd have more time on your hands to go out and find yourself a man. How about you just let Nate take over the business? Don't you think that it's more suitable for the son to be the one to take over the business anyway?
You expect me to let him inherit our family business? I get the feeling you don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah? Is that a problem? I mean, it makes sense to me. Wouldn't that be what your dad would have wanted anyway? Why would he want his daughter to inherit over his son? It's always the son who takes over the family business in like 9 out of 10 cases.
What do you know about what he would have wanted? You've been with my little brother for I don't even know how long, and I'm just now hearing about you. And now you're telling me to hand over the family business? I don't see why you think you should be sticking your nose into our business.
I just think that Nate would be better at leading the business, that's all. I mean, he fits the bill for what you'd usually imagine a businessman to be like. It seems that he's got his life sorted out more than you have. We're about to have a kid, by the way. Think about it. We'd even have the next heir in line. It's the perfect choice.
Wait, you're kidding, right? You guys are having a kid?
Yup. And it's going to be a boy, so things should work out perfectly. I mean, you don't even have a boyfriend yet. At this rate, what's going to happen to the business when you're gone? Well, I'll give you some time to think about it. But I really think that it'll be for the best. I look forward to hearing back from you. Bye-bye!
Hey, Mom. What's up with Nate and his supposed wife? Have you heard about this? She just contacted me out of nowhere, and this is the first time that I'm hearing about her. Oh, wow. The timing really lined up on this one. They actually just came over to my house earlier today. Wait, they were over at the house? What did they want? Oh, they were just stopping by. But I wasn't really expecting that. They really caught me off guard. It's been such a long time since the last time I saw Nate. I definitely wouldn't have thought that he'd be bringing along a partner the next time that I saw him. But at least she seems like a good person. Are you talking about Mariella or whatever her name was? I don't feel like we're talking about the same person. Yep, that was her. I'm guessing you haven't seen her at all. She's so adorable. And she was way more mature than I would have expected. Mature? Yeah. She was such a well-mannered young lady. I never would have thought that Nate would get with such an amazing woman. I'm so happy for him. You won't come across many people like her these days. I'm so happy for them. Hold on a second. I think that there's something going on here. Mom, don't let her fool you. That is not how she normally is. There's just no way that it is. What? Why do you say that? Just believe me. She's just pretending. She's probably just trying to get on your good side. You wouldn't believe the way that she was talking to me earlier. Trust me on this one. She's trying to get something out of you. Are you sure? I certainly didn't get any kind of bad impression from her when we met. I couldn't imagine her being mean to anyone. She must have just been putting on an act. When we talked, she was calling me a lonely woman and poking fun at me for not having a boyfriend. It was nothing but insults from the second after she introduced herself to me. Oh, wow. I really can't imagine her saying anything like that. I never would have thought she had that side to her based on how she acted around me. I know that it isn't really my business how you decide to handle them. I mean, you're still Nate's mother after all. But it's for the best that you know about the backside of her supposedly positive personality. Don't let her convince you otherwise. There's just something not right about her. Thanks for worrying about me, but you don't need to. I'm not that gullible. I'll be able to figure things out on my own.
Hey, Amelia! Did you see the pictures from our wedding that I sent you? Didn't we have some really great shots?
Yeah, I saw them. There were some nice photos. You guys were dressed up really nicely. You looked good together. I think that Mom being there in some of the shots really brought them together as well. I think that you guys had some really great pictures taken.
Right? They really feel like family photos.
I guess so. Except for the fact that you're missing someone from the family in the picture. Someone who wasn't even invited to the wedding in the first place.
Wait. Don't tell me that you're mad that you're the only one who wasn't invited. Are you upset about being left out?
I wouldn't say that I'm really upset, but I would like to know the reason why I wasn't invited. Why would you invite our mom and not me? I don't know what you have against me, but I'm a part of the family too, whether you like it or not. I think it would have been nice if I'd have been invited to my own brother's wedding.
I don't know about that. Inviting Nate's mom to our wedding is a completely different story. What do I need you at our wedding for? So we can feel bad for you? I wouldn't want you to be there all by yourself just so we can feel guilty about it. That really would have ruined the atmosphere.
Huh?
I don't think that you're understanding what I'm trying to tell you. You do realize that I don't really feel like I need to, nor do I want to, be your friend, let alone see you as family. You're just a stranger to me. I don't see you as anything more than my husband's sister.
And how is that on the same level as being a stranger? Are you really saying that you don't want to make any effort to get along with me? Your sister-in-law?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying. I don't care what kind of relationship we have by law. You may as well be a stranger to me. On top of that, I really don't have any merit to getting along with you. So I simply won't.
That's kind of a messed up way of looking at things, but okay.
It can't hurt to get along with your mom. But there's really not any reason to get along with you. If anything, I feel like you might just become a burden in the future. What good could possibly come out of trying to make friends with someone like you?
A burden? That's how you see me? In what way could I possibly get in y'all's way?
I mean, it's only a matter of time before Nate takes over the company. What do you plan on doing after that? He'll be alone and jobless. I hope you won't expect us to have your back and let you leech off of us.
Even if that were the case, do you really think that I wouldn't be able to take care of myself afterwards?
I don't know. I mean, I could see you bothering us out of spite just to get back at us for not inviting you to our wedding. Oh, yeah! And I don't plan on letting you know where we live either. I'd appreciate if you'd just make an effort to not get involved with us. I'll make it easy for you by not letting you know any of our personal info.
Oh, really? I see how it is. It's not like I really wanted to know anyway. I've done nothing to you. You're the one who keeps getting in contact with me. And all you've done is insulted me on and on, treating me like an unwanted nuisance in your life. I'm glad that I didn't go to y'all's wedding. I couldn't be bothered to find out where you guys are living if you begged me to.
Like I care. All I'm saying is that I'm not going to be handing over personal information to just anyone. And I don't really know you. I'm just setting boundaries. Don't expect us to help you out in the future when I may as well not even know you.
I don't need you or Nate. BTW, Nate's not even my brother anymore as far as I'm concerned.
Huh?
Why would I go to you guys if I ever needed anything? If you guys feel that way about me, then I won't do anything to get in y'all's way. But don't expect me to treat you any better than you've treated me. If you don't want to have anything to do with me, then so be it. I don't care who Nate decides to marry. He's not even family to me. If he wants to get married to someone like you, then he can have fun with that. You two can do whatever you want. I don't care.
Hold on. What do you mean he isn't your brother?
I meant what I said. Nate isn't my brother, and he hasn't been part of our family for some time now.
What are you talking about all of a sudden? Nate told me that you're his older sister. I don't know what you're talking about. And you haven't said anything about that this whole time when I brought it up. Why are you trying to distance yourself from him like this all of a sudden?
We have the same mom, and that's where our relationship ends, as biological siblings. But Nate hasn't been part of our family for some time. I'm the only dependent that my parents took care of our last few years living together. They weren't Nate's guardians, so if anything, he's the stranger in the family.
What do you mean they weren't his guardians?
They gave up custody of him to our grandparents back when he was in high school. To our grandparents on Dad's side of the family.
What do you mean?
I guess you haven't heard anything about this from him.
What are you talking about? I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
That means you must not know anything about what led up to him being sent away either. I'll go ahead and fill you in. Nate pissed Dad off until he'd had enough. So he effectively disowned him. That's how he ended up in the custody of our grandparents.
What?
As you know, we run a family-owned business. And honestly, we've kind of had things a lot easier than most families do. But Nate would only ever use our family's position to get carried away. He thought that he'd always just get bailed out by our parents, so he'd cause problems at school. He'd even steal money from my parents. He was out of control. One day my dad had enough. He talked to our grandparents about what happened and figured it'd be best if he wasn't with our family. So they handed over custody.
Huh? You mean to tell me that he used to be that kind of kid? Why haven't I heard about this?
I don't really know what his deal was. He says that it was just the influence from video games and movies. But I don't really buy it. I mean, he was just awful back then. I do believe that he was finally able to reflect on what he'd done after he ended up being sent to live with our grandparents. But I don't think he ever properly tried to make things right, and my dad was never willing to forgive him. He even left in his will that he didn't wish for him to attend his funeral, a wish which we respected by not inviting him.
Your dad really hated him that badly?
Do you really think that he had a chance of inheriting the company? After all that he put my dad through? The business was specifically given to me. Nate isn't designated in Dad's will as a recipient of anything. The only words left about Nate are instructions for us to not involve ourselves with him after his death.
Are you being serious? So you're saying that Nate won't be able to lead your dad's business?
That's right. If you want to be married to a business owner so badly, then how about you guys start your own business?
You're being ridiculous right now.
I'm sure you can ask Nate to fill you in on all the details. He has to know that there isn't any way he is going to be inheriting the business. So I'd be more concerned about why he's even entertaining the idea. Hey, Amelia. I'm sorry to ask this all of a sudden, but do you think that I could stay at your house? I already have my stuff together, so if possible, I'd like to move in as soon as possible. Why? I don't mind, but what's going on? Nate and Mariella have been hanging out around my house way too often. They've been staying there almost every day. They're starting to bother me, and I'm just getting tired of being around them. What? Yeah. They keep on talking about the company. They want me to try and do something about it. They're just so persistent, and I just can't get them to stop. They think that I'll join their side or something. And they act like I should be grateful to them for them being around me and for inviting me to their wedding. I've just had enough. What are we gonna do with them? They're clearly trying to take advantage of your kindness. It seems that that's all they've been trying to do from the start. Nate even started yelling at me. He said I should be on their side because they invited me to the wedding. He's just gone completely mask off and trying to coerce me into doing something. He thinks that he's doing a favor for me, like he's being a good son or something, and that I need to repay him for it. Wow. Even after all these years, he's still an ungrateful brat. It's not like I can do anything about who controls the business anyway. Maybe if he hadn't acted the way he did, then your father would have included him in the will. I wish that they'd see that there's nothing that I can do for them, even if I wanted to, so that they'd just leave me alone. For real. You don't even have anything to do with the company. It's not like you have any authority over who runs it. That's what I've been trying to explain to them. But no matter how many times I tell them that it's not going to happen, that there's nothing that I can do, they just double down and insist that there has to be something that I can do. I'm just so tired of it. I need to get away from them. I'm sorry about them. They probably just think that they'll get their way if they start pushing you around. Well, they're wrong. I think that all of you are underestimating me. Just because I was nice to y'all as kids doesn't mean that I can't stand my ground. It was your father who didn't want me to be so rough with y'all. He insisted that he take on the role of the strict parent and that I only treat you guys kindly. Wait, really? That's why you never got mad at us or anything? That's exactly why. I was just trying to work with your dad on what he thought was the best for you guys. Looking back on it, I'm not sure it was really fair for either of us to handle it that way. But it was our way of handling things. I guess that makes sense why you almost never got on to us and it was always Dad. In the end, it didn't even matter with Nate. No matter what we tried, we couldn't get him to pull his act together. I think that he just wanted the attention. But now that your father is gone, it's time for me to take on both roles. I'm done playing nice mom. It's about time that I let him and that wife of his know what's really on my mind and set the record straight. I see. So, when are you planning on moving out? Like I said, I don't mind if you want to move in with me. They said they were going to be coming back over tomorrow, so I plan on leaving before then. I'll leave them a note that no one is going to go against your father's will. I just need them to understand that it's not my fault, or even yours, that things ended up this way. I'm going to clear out the house and go. I mean, you were already planning on leaving that house someday, so I guess this is a good chance to go ahead and go through with it. You can move in whenever you feel like you need to. It can even be today if you want. I can help you move if you need to. Thank you so much. I'm going to have a look into selling the property, and as soon as I get into contact with someone, I'll head over there.
Where's your mom at? Are you trying to keep her from us? Why do you feel like you need to keep everything from us?
What?
Would it really hurt you to let us just have a little bit? You can't keep everything and everyone in the family away from us like this. You don't have any right to keep both the company and your mom all to yourself. What about us? Nate is your brother, whether you like it or not. And I'm part of the family by extension. You don't have to keep everything to yourself. Would it really be that big of a deal to let Nate take over the business anyway? I think it'd be best for everyone. You're just a sad and greedy woman.
Greedy? What does that make you? Were you expecting to get something out of marrying Nate? It was our dad's will for me to inherit the company. I don't want to hear it from you. Your opinion doesn't matter to me.
Don't you feel bad for us? He's still your little brother. You grew up together. You have the same parents. And yet you're the only one who got anything from your dad when he died? How is that fair?
You should take that up with Nate. It's his actions that led to him being disowned. He totaled 5 of Dad's cars. Did he tell you about that?
What?
Not only that, he was still in middle school the first time that it happened. He didn't even make it off of our property before he crashed it. Do you mean to tell me that you wouldn't be pissed if it were your kid destroying your property? I wasn't surprised that Dad didn't want him at the funeral. And I don't think he was either.
Hold on. How do I know you're even telling the truth? How could I not have heard about this? Isn't that kind of a big deal? There's no way he was that bad of a kid.
I can't say that he hasn't gotten better as he's gotten older. But I do think that it's weird that you and Tim are appearing all of a sudden right after Dad died. How come Nate never had the courage to try and make it up to Dad? How come you're here now that you think there's something to be gained out of his death?
Your dad's death isn't my problem. Is it really so bad to marry someone with a promising future? So what if I thought that he was going to take over the business when we got married? But this isn't what I expected. And what's with your mom? I thought that she was supposed to be nice. Why doesn't she even want to help us out a little? I'm tired of this. I'm about to divorce Nate.
Is that so? Go ahead, do as you please. Whether or not you guys get divorced has nothing to do with me.
Yes, it does. If I'm getting divorced with him, then I need you to take care of our child. It's not possible for me to raise the kid on my own. And it'd be good for you. Then you wouldn't be so lonely. It seems that this family is good at handing over the care of kids they can't handle on their own anyway.
Cut the crap. Talk to Nate about this. It isn't my problem. If it's not possible for you to take care of your child, then have him do it.
I can't! The kid isn't even his.
What? The baby isn't his.
Well, I mean, there was a period in my life where I kind of hooked up with a bunch of guys. And then I got pregnant and I didn't know what to do. But when I told Nate I was pregnant, he was ecstatic. He said that it was a good opportunity to get married and try to come back like we did. I didn't really know why he was so happy about it. But he just kept on telling me that he was going to inherit his dad's company and whatnot and never told me the true story about what happened.
That might be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I don't even know what to say.
I didn't know about Nate's past. Who knows what he'll do to me if he finds out that the baby isn't his? There's no way that I can have him take care of the baby. Please just help me out. I'll just get divorced and give birth to the baby without letting him know anything about what we talked about. I just need you to take the baby.
I'm sorry. And I feel bad for the kid who's going to be born into this mess. But it's not really my problem. Figure something out on your own.
Hold on.
Look, there are plenty of support centers and stuff that can help you out. But that's all I can really help you with. You'll need to figure the rest out on your own. I haven't heard from Mariella or Nate since. According to what I've heard rumored, Mariella never went through with the divorce and never told Nate about the baby. She gave birth to the child without Nate ever even knowing about what was going on behind the scenes. She's probably living in fear that he'll figure out that he's taking care of a child who isn't even his. On the other hand, Nate seems to be trying to take work seriously in order to support them. However, he's been having trouble keeping a job for more than a short period of time. I think that Mariella wants to say something about it, but she's still fearful about rocking the boat given her current situation. She's currently working part-time and managing the family finances. Their family is barely hanging on, but I plan to simply keep my distance and see how things play out. Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and feel free to leave a comment. Please also consider subscribing.